Hey, you guys, Jim here. Thanks a lot for sticking with us. It's been a complete embarrassment the way the membership site rollout has gone, and the guys worked really hard on it. Pulled a lot of all nighters. We've all put the effort in, but it just sometimes technology doesn't behave. So anyway, we're I think we're almost there. I'm going to, I'll obviously, if you're watching this video, I posted this video for you guys, but I'm still struggling with trying to get the images up into rebuilt and up into that drop down area for the chart. So hang in there, bear with me. We'll get there. This will be a really good setup. I'll be able to fire off videos like this periodically during the day. You'll receive them instant messages via text or email, but we're just, like I said, struggling a little bit with some issues. So real quick, I wanted to show sort of the setup we have right now. You guys, if you followed me on Twitter today, and the reason I publicly tweeted some things out is because I just really, a lot of you were saying you were getting the messages. A lot of you were saying you were not getting the messages. So I decided to put that out. We had actually pretty good tracking today. I was looking for that pullback that we got, sort of in here. And I was really hoping we'd take care of this 4850 retest level so we could get it behind us in front of this zone of strength that we're moving into over the next couple of days here. We've got strength on the 9th, strength into midday on the 10th. The overnight model looks to me pretty bullish tonight. So, it doesn't really look like we'll get that 4850 retest first thing in the morning. It actually, in a weird way, would be better if we get it out of the way on some little, sharp move down. If that does happen, I personally will be buying some calls because I'm expecting the price action to move right back up again. I think minimum, unless this is just a huge disappointment velocity-wise, I think we can get back to a new all-time high, so back above that early June high, at least into midday on the 10th. At that point, unless I'm generating new data tomorrow and then, that half day on the 10th, I think that's going to be it for this particular zone of strength. If I do generate new zones of strength, then we can carry through, late session on the 10th and maybe even into the 11th. I can't predict that at this point. So it is encouraging that this speed line on this small degree 5-minute fractal is, sitting up here, and even at the open tomorrow, call it, $100 basically. And then, by the time we move into the 9th and the 10th, we'll be up in the 110, 120 range, something like that. So that's encouraging. I really don't think this window, well, for starters, this zone of strength on the 9th and 10th, because of the damage that was caused when the market, when AMC topped with the stock sales and the information that's public, that really was kind of a spine breaker here in the short term. So whereas the setup into that zone of strength showed basically nothing but blue skies above, and that's why it had the opportunity, in my work at least, to melt up. Think of it as being the market being outside, nothing but blue sky above it during this move here. Whereas tomorrow and the next day, we've got a ceiling. We're sort of inside the house. Sure, you can break right through the ceiling and then up into the blue skies, but for me, just to look at the two different setups, there's no comparison in how bullish that window was right here compared to where we are over the next 2 days. Now, if we're going to melt up, that means that I'll basically see the same thing that I saw in studying the 1987 crash. And all it means is that it won't be just a shocking surprise that price breaks through that ceiling metaphor I'm using. I'll basically see it slowly kind of crack the ceiling, break through the ceiling, wobble around above the ceiling, and then shoot up into the blue skies. So I'll be able to tell you guys, it won't be it come out of the clear blue and then attack the speed line if that's what's going to happen. If I was forced to just make a single call, a single bet, the odds are definitely completely against this big speed line attack happening the next 2 days. But like I said, if I see it in real time, I'll tell you guys instantly. The good news, though, in my mind is that, again, this 5-minute fractal, I don't know about you guys, but I'd be pretty happy with, a move to 100, 110, 20 this week. Excuse me, guys. So let's just, I'm sort of looking at this all-time high that we posted early June. If we can get back above that, that's at least acceptable in this current setup. Because then again, we have two more zones of strength. We've got one into the 18th, one into the 28th. And then again, this is the most powerful that really I'm tracking right now, that August 17th. And I've said that from the beginning to you guys, that if you want me to find a single zone of strength that might align with some of the targets that some of you are coming up with, it really would be this. So anyway, this is a really optimistic look to me. Now, we can have quite a bit of price damage in between the 10th and the 18th if we don't generate any new zones of strength tomorrow and the next day. But if it's coming from, a higher high, then hey, we're making higher highs and we're making higher lows. That's called an uptrend. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy. Now, if you guys are playing the options, and you sort of miss out time-wise on one of your strikes, on one of your expirations rather, that's a bummer. But as far as just people holding the stock, the underlying stock, not the derivatives, to me, this is all of this is pretty encouraging here. Now, this is the Anemoy terminal that I keep telling you guys to please not subscribe to, and I see people kind of trickling in to kick the tires. That's at the least expensive month-to-month package, but I don't have the navigation set up for you guys. So if you wander in there, you're going to see the nice tutorial videos that are associated with each individual sort of module. These guys here, but you're not going to see this. The proper kind of navigation video that we'll have once we get ready to launch, and by navigation, I just mean I'm basically going to show you, or we'll get a professional to do a voiceover, whatever, excuse me, you guys. And, carry you around the entire site, tell you what all the different tabs are about, all the different tools, all the different buttons, all that stuff. So anyway, back to AMC. This is a nice looking setup. We are working our way down toward, another three trigger. This is technically a three trigger cluster. I'll remove price for you guys. So there's your, your 1 minute triggers, that gold one, your blue triggers your 5 minute. And then this, the violet is of course your hourly, which are always our most important. Prices above the hourly trigger. You see our bot went out long at the close there. So that's encouraging. As far as hourly velocity, the first hour of trading, you see this little stub. So at the close today, our algorithms on the back end make the calculations, and they decide, is the velocity rising or is it moving back down toward the zero line for the first hour of trading tomorrow? In this case, it increased to the upside slightly. So it's at a positive 0.193. So, 19 cents basically. And coming off of a 16-cent velocity reading for the final half hour of trading. So that's encouraging. If you want to see something else is very encouraging, this is the 10-day chart, all 1 minute price action, but 10 days. You can see that beautiful low there. That was the contact that Trey talked about in our interview. And unfortunately, I didn't have the benefit of seeing the same screen he was working off of. But this is what Trey was talking about when I was able to warn you guys in a video that we made price contact. It was against upside hourly velocity, so that's a clear buy the dip type setup. And then that was the day that I had that retest up at 64.50 that you see here, and so. It allowed me to sort of make the call, if you want to call it that, the model to make the call that we could go from $38 all the way up to 64.50, over a period of, what was it, a couple hours, 3 hours. So, if any of you bought calls based on that, of course, that was a nice, very nice trade. We had a nice support again right here. Again, we had nice velocity characteristics on contact. You don't pay attention to this. It's when the price makes contact. So that was good. And then we had third contact here. And now we're working our way into this tight three trigger cluster. So that looks really encouraging. again, if we do get a lower open, and especially if we get a lower open into that 48.50 retest level, of course, what that's going to do is make contact with our 52.53 hourly trigger. It'll actually poke through it, briefly, but that would be the same kind of setup that we had right here, and and that would be a buy. As far as the zones of strength and weakness, I don't have them listed here, but we will have an early zone of this is a 24-hour chart. Sorry, guys. We will have an early zone of strength in on the 5-minute. If you guys can see this better, probably not. That's probably too big. On the sorry about that, you guys. On the intraday model. So, matter of fact, there's I think 3 different zones of strength tomorrow. I'm not going to list those just in case we have some people that have joined us here behind the paywall who might not be apes. So anyway, looks good. I think all in all, it would be conservative to say that I think that we can move back up to the all-time high from early June. And if we get there, I'll keep you guys updated on blow to blow, and we'll see where we go from there. Again, thanks for sticking with us. We had quite a few people cancel their subscriptions, and that was unfortunate. I mean, these are 1-year subscriptions for the most part. Most of you have subscribed for 1 entire year at 75% discount or slightly less. And we're only, a handful of days into it. So, you guys have another week to cancel if you want to. And if I were you, I'd stick with us here and try to kind of ride out this little bumpy launch period. All right. Good luck, everybody.